The Moral Right to Healthcare by Travis Torrance. Today I want to talk to you about the elements that keeps our hospital morally correct. Healthcare is, or supposed to be, rooted upon ethics, and while there are multiple principles of ethics in the healthcare field, there's one thing that stands out in particular, and that is justice. And there are three elements that hold morally to the standards of justice: mission statement, vision statement, value statement, resource allocation, and Stark Law. Part 1 is a mission statement. Every organization has a goal, which is to ensure that our patients can feel comfortable within our settings by placing guidelines upon our standards. And most management texts will stress the importance of having a clear vision, a purposeful mission, and a guiding set of values. The mission statement is to hold the values present and the vision seen and push it forward. We have to illustrate that our mission statement is important within our facility. It signifies, and we'll touch on this basis with the vision and values, on the importance of these elements and how they're there for the patient to feel safe. Because the patient knows these rules, they understand what guidelines we go by, and that's mainly what matters with the mission statement. Vision statement. Successful organizations will be those that are steadfast in pursuit of their vision. Vision statements are the words that hold true to the action. Our vision could be to provide the best healthcare in our community, and with that, we must keep our word by showing our actions through the mission statement. Now, you say this. You say I'm an honest person. Well, your actions have to show that. The vision statement is what you speak on. The mission statement is the action after what you speak on. It's us keeping true to our word. Next is the value statement. Like described in the text provided, documents that attempt to identify an organization's goals, principles, and commitment. Our value statement is our philosophy that helps guide our morality in a direction that benefits not on our organizations but our patients as well. Philosophy is what we believe in, what we feel is the core essence of who we are, of the hospital, what is important for us to provide for the patient, for they can see. They know that we want to provide this. Once we believe this, we can speak on it, and then we can show it. It's a 1, 2, 3 step. And the mission statement is the action. Like I said, the vision statement is the words, and the value is the philosophy that you believe is true. And it only can be proven to the patient when we show this. Back to the mission statement. Next is part 2, resource allocation. Now, resource allocation can be very conflicting when it comes to how you view the situation regarding healthcare in the United States. But I'll talk about that. Resource allocation connects heavily to the ethics of justice, as resource allocation policies and procedures maximize the chances of fair and equitable treatment. But this is not perfect, as steps are in place with government legal matters to ensure that healthcare is conducted properly and fairly to all within an organization. Resource allocation is very important, especially if you look at the idea of who's getting this and who can afford this. But with laws being in place, it keeps not only the hospital in check for the patient, but also informs the patient for them to be aware of where they stand as well. And last but not least is Part 3, Stark's Law. Part 3, Stark Law is high prices are, and this touches on everything. That's a huge situation in the United States. High prices are the main reason the United States spends so much more on healthcare than other wealthy developed countries, which is also due to other factors involved. But there's also points on how Stark Law is important, as its goal is to ensure that there is no conflict of interest amongst healthcare practitioners This law not only keeps us in check, but lets our patients know that we ourselves are being watched to uphold justice. Anyone can be crooked, and there are laws to make sure not everyone isn't getting crooked. And there are people who will abuse the system. If we stick true to our mission statements, what we believe is important, because justice is about being fair. And I believe these three elements prove that heavily. If you have any questions for me, please go ahead, and I'll be happy to hear it.